This is the second video in the series on money problems. Make sure that you've watched Money Problems 1 before continuing with this one. Okay, these are really common questions, but what the exam board do like to do is ask them in a slightly different way. This video is going to cover a slight twist on your classic money problems questions. So in this example, Darius buys his classmate all a can of Coke. He spends a total of $3.85. How many cans does he buy? Now, one way of approaching this problem is by doing division and doing £3.85 divided by 55p. But what we see a lot of when you have a go at your exam questions is you try and add these things up in really small cramped spaces of lots of 55s and you go all the way off the page. So I'm going to stick with this method, but hopefully show you something that's going to make this method a lot easier. So if I take the cost of one of these cans, which is 55p, and add it together with another one, then 5 add 5 gives me 10, 5 add 5 gives me 10 again. So two of these cans cost £1.10, and I'm just going to make a note of that there. Okay, what I'm going to do now is instead of taking the cost of one can, I'm going to straight away take the cost of both cans. Now, as long as I remember that £1.10 represents two cans, and if I add this together, 0 add 0 is 0, 1 add 1 is 2, and 1 add 1 is 2. £2.20 or 220 pence is the cost of 2 add 2, 4 cans. So I know that he definitely bought more than 4 at this point. Now I can see that I need to get up to around about £4. So I'm going to do that by adding on another lot of 2. So if I take the cost of 4, which is 220p, and the cost of 2 cans, which is 110p, and add these two together, I'm just going to make a note so that I don't forget. That's the cost of 4 and that's the cost of 2. 0 add 0, 2 add 1, and 2 add 1. Now this is the cost of 4 plus 2 cans. This is the cost of 6 cans of Coke. Now you can see we're up to £3.30, so we're pretty close now to this £3.85. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take £3.30, which, if I remind myself, is the cost of 6 cans, and I'm going to add on to this just 1 unit now. Now 1 can cost 55p, and I'm going to make a note so that I don't forget it. So 0 add 5 is 5, 3 add 5 is 8, and the 3 drops down, and I've ended up at £3.85 or 385 pence, and it's taken me 6 plus 1, 7 cans to get there. So Darius bought 7 cans for his classmates. In the second part of this example, Chiquita has £5 to spend. He wants to buy 2 cakes, 2 cups of tea, and a can of Coke. We need to know whether he can actually afford this. So let's start by working out how much all of this costs. 2 cakes, 1 cake is £1.60, so I need 2 of those. 2 cups of tea, each cup of tea is worth 80p, and I need 2 of those. And finally I need a can of Coke, which is 55p. What's important is that I try and keep this as lined up as I can. So 0 add 0 add 0 add 0 add 5 is 5 down there. 6 add 6 add 8 add 8 add 5 is 33, and 1 add 1 is 2, plus the 3 down here is 5, giving me a grand total of 535 pence. Now remember, I need to turn this into pounds, so it's £5.35. So I have to actually answer the question. This isn't enough at this stage. I have to tell the examiner no, he definitely can't afford all of this, and a really nice touch as well is to say he is 35p short. He doesn't have enough by 35 pence. Here's a question for you to have a go at yourself. This is very similar to the previous example. Pause the video here, hit play when you're ready for me to talk you through the answers. Okay, so George spends £12.80 just on chocolate bars, and each chocolate bar costs 160p or £1.60. So if I add these two together, I'm going to work out the cost of 2 chocolate bars, which is 320p. Now just to remind myself, that's the cost of 2. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my 320 and I'm going to work out 2 lots of that. So that's going to give me 640p, or £6.40, and that's the cost of 4 chocolate bars. I can see that's roughly halfway, so I'm going to take both of these and add these two together, which is going to give me dead on 1,280p, or £12.80, and that's for 8 chocolate bars. So in answer to this question, George must have bought 8 chocolate bars. Helen only has £5. She wants to buy a newspaper, a chocolate bar, a can of Coke and 2 magazines. Let's have a look and see if she can afford this. So the newspaper is 130p, the chocolate bar is 160p, the Coke 90, and the magazines 55 each. It's really important to try and keep this as lined up as you possibly can. It will help you. So 0, add 0, add 0, 5 add 5, and then adding up this column, 3 add 6, add 9, add 5 add 5, with the 1 on the bottom is 29, and 1, 2, 3, 4 makes 490p, or £4.90. So in answer to this question, yes, she can afford all of this. Here's a second question for you to have a go at. Pause the video here, hit play when you're ready for some answers. Okay, Michael takes his friends to the cinema. They are all old age pensioners. Michael spends £18.90 on tickets. Let's work out how many he bought. Each ticket was worth 210p, or £2.10. So if I work out what 2 lots of them is worth, that's 420p, or £4.20. And just to remind myself that they're worth 2 tickets. So then with this, I'm going to work out what 4 tickets cost by adding those 2 together. And that's £8.40, or 840p. And remember, that's worth 4 tickets. Now I'm going to take £8.40 and work out 2 lots of that. So that's going to give me £16.80, or 1,680p. And just a reminder, that's worth 8 tickets. Now I can see I'm really close at this point. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take my 1680, which is 8 tickets, and I'm just going to add on another 1. And I'm going to go up in increments of 1 until I hit my right answer. So adding these together, I can see that that turns out as 1,890 pence, or £18.90, which is my final answer. This was 8 tickets, this was 1 ticket, so £18.90 is the total cost for 9 tickets. In the second part of this question, Ben wants to buy 2 adult tickets and 2 child tickets. He has £10. Let's see if he can afford these. So an adult ticket is £3.90, and we've got 2 of those. A child's ticket is £1.50, and I've got 2 of those. So if I add all of these up, I'm going to get 0 in my first column, then 9 add 9 add 5 add 5 is 28, and 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is 1,080 pence, or £10.80. So the answer to this question is no, he cannot afford them. He is 80p short. Well done if you got all of these questions right. Make sure you move on to the next video in this series, Money Problems 3. Thanks for watching.